Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Lakshmi and Shalu decided to investigate Mukesh to find out the truth about who poisoned the food on that day. So let's continue from there. Lakshmi and Shalu are talking. Shalu tells Lakshmi that they should know how the poison came into the food, and she asks if someone added the poison in the food silently. Lakshmi recalls Balvinder's words that he has proofs and that Lakshmi is innocent. Lakshmi tells Shalu that Balvinder had said it in court that I am innocent and that he has proof, so maybe this is true. Malishka talks to Rishi's picture and says you are going to jail because of Lakshmi. She says even God cannot snatch you from me. Shalu asks Lakshmi that who can trap you. Lakshmi says Balvinder was taking all the Oberoi family's names. Shalu says the Oberoi family. Lakshmi says I was trying to leave from there, but Balvinder keeps saying that he can help me. Shalu asks Lakshmi if Balvinder did this. Lakshmi says if Balvinder had come there that day, then anyone would have seen him. She says they should not trust Balvinder and they should talk to Chef Mukesh first so that they can find some way to take Rishi out from jail. Malishka hugs Rishi and says today we have united. Rishi reciprocates the hug, but it turns out to be Malishka's imagination and she says you are just mine. She then dreams that Lakshmi comes there and breaks her hug with Rishi, and Lakshmi holds Rishi's hand and takes him away from there. Malishka says you cannot go from here, Rishi, and she comes out of her room running. Kiran stops Malishka and asks that what happened. She says there is nobody here. She asks her to relax and drink water. Malishka says my Rishi and she cries. Kiran says Rishi is yours. Nobody is taking him away from you. Malishka tells Kiran about her dream and says Lakshmi snatched Rishi from me. She says Rishi did not look at me. I don't know what magic Lakshmi has done on Rishi. Malishka says to Kiran that Rishi is seeing Lakshmi's doings, but not mine. Kiran says Neelam has seen all your effort. Malishka says if Lakshmi gets Rishi freed, then Lakshmi will become greater. Kiran says whenever Rishi gets freed, you should forward your hand and Rishi will think that you were there waiting for him. She says only the person who doesn't feel helpless gets successful. Malishka asks what should I do? Should I stop Lakshmi from getting Rishi freed? But Kiran says no. Lakshmi prays to God and says she has to get Rishi freed and bring him back home. She says that she will get him freed. Kiran blames Lakshmi and says Rishi is in jail because of you and now you are claiming that you will get him freed. She says Neelam has closed herself in the room and she have not eaten food since yesterday because we pleaded in front of her and says there is a terror due to you. Lakshmi says to Karishma that she will get Rishi freed surely. Karishma says how will you do this? If you don't do it, then she stops and says you will do as I say. Lakshmi says okay and says I will get Rishi freed. Ayush stops Lakshmi and asks Karishma if Lakshmi got Rishi freed, then will you do what Lakshmi asks you to do? Lakshmi says how are you talking to her? She is your mother. Ayush says if she is my mother, then will she just say anything? Lakshmi says Ayush. Ayush goes from there and Karishma says to Lakshmi that my son is against me because of you. Ayush admires Shalu as she is working in the kitchen. He comes inside and keeps her dupatta on her shoulder properly. A song plays in the background. Ayush asks Shalu that what work is on. Shalu asks, didn't you see? Ayush says whatever I am saying is wonderful and he looks at her. Shalu smiles. Ayush says the food is wonderfully processed by you and says this is your first time that you are making food. Ayush asks Shalu that will you make tasty food? Shalu asks what do you think? Ayush says it will be okay food and not tasty. Shalu says then don't touch it. Ayush says whenever Lakshmi is not at home, then you should come and make food and feed me. He says let's discuss your salary. Shalu runs behind him to eat him with the bazan. Ayush collides with Lakshmi and complains about Shalu. Lakshmi says to Ayush that first, tell me why did you talk to your mother like that? Shalu says Ayush doesn't have manners. Ayush asks Shalu to go and make rotis in the kitchen. Shalu says Ayush is a typical type and he thinks that girls play things in the kitchen. Ayush says I will not let my wife go to the kitchen. Lakshmi says who will cook then? Ayush says Shalu will cook and they argue again. Lakshmi asks Ayush and Shalu that why do you always fight? Ayush says we fight like Rishi and you. Lakshmi goes. Ayush and Shalu comes to the kitchen. They collide their head with each other. Ayush asks Shalu to show him her head. Shalu says she is fine. Ayush says I will eat your head by force and Sonia looks at them. Lakshmi goes inside and tells Grandma that she needs her blessings to get Rishi released. Grandma blesses Lakshmi and Rishi's bond to be stronger forever. Lakshmi asks Grandma to have her medicine. She asks, do you want to say something to Rishi? Grandma says she wants Lakshmi to say I love you to Rishi. And Lakshmi says, Grandma says to Lakshmi that she is a modern grandma and she can say I love you to Rishi. She says she wants to hug Rishi and she just pray that Rishi comes home fast. She asks Lakshmi to go. In the kitchen, Sonia claps and says to Ayush and Shalu that it was a lovely scene. Ayush says to Shalu that I want to collide our heads again, and Sonia asks Shalu if she is behind her brother. Ayush asks Sonia to think before talking. Shalu asks Sonia not to cross her limit. Sonia says you are here due to my dad. Ayush says it is too much for now. Please leave before I lose my cool. He says sorry to Shalu. Shalu says don't say anything. Nothing should happen due to me. She says everyone is worried due to Rishi already. Ayush is impressed and he says to Shalu that you think a lot about us. Lakshmi comes to meet Rishi. The lady constable says I will send him here. Lakshmi says that day Rishi came to meet me and today I have come to meet him. She thinks that Rishi is worried here due to me and he took all the blames on himself. Rishi comes there and hugs Lakshmi tightly while a song plays in the background. Rishi asks Lakshmi to talk. Lakshmi asks what? Rishi says the same thing which typical wife says, that their husband have become lean. Lakshmi says I don't have the right to say this because you are here because of me. She says yes, you have become very lean. Rishi says he is habitual to eating home food and he cannot eat jail food and that is why he is lean. Lakshmi asks Rishi that why did you take the blame on yourself? If not, you would have been at home by now and you would have been eating home food. Rishi says I couldn't eat food when you were in jail. He says he cannot see Lakshmi in trouble and that is why he cannot see her in jail. Lakshmi asks if she also doesn't care for him and she asks him to stay in jail and stay hungry and says she will not come to meet him and she will not bring food for him. Rishi asks that why is Lakshmi getting angry? Lakshmi asks that who has started everything? Rishi says the husband have to apologize due to wife like you and he says sorry to her. Lakshmi says I am sorry too. Rishi says you are different and he tells her that his mom never says sorry to his dad. Lakshmi says I will tell mommy. Rishi says he was joking to make her smile. Lakshmi smiles and Rishi also smiles while a song plays in the background. Lakshmi tells Rishi that she has brought all his favorite food from home and she shows him the tiffin and she feeds food in Rishi's mouth. Rishi feeds Lakshmi too and asks her to feed him with her hand. Lakshmi says I have made the food specially for you. Rishi says the food doesn't have salt. He then says that he is joking and then they eat the food. Rishi asks Lakshmi to make him eat fast and says he wants her to eat on time else he will not talk to her for 6 months. He says take me out from here. Lakshmi asks Rishi about Mukesh. Rishi says Mukesh is a trustable person but I cannot say how he is if he gets greedy or helpless to get money from someone and Lakshmi says that she will meet Mukesh to find out the truth. Rishi says to Lakshmi that he ate the food and he asks her to make him eat the gulab jamun. Lakshmi makes Rishi eat the gulab jamun and asks him to wipe his hand with her palu. Rishi asks who does this? Lakshmi says my father. Rishi asks if Lakshmi's father loved her mother so much and he wipes his hand and mouth with Lakshmi's palu. Lakshmi asks Rishi about the case. Lakshmi says that she will meet Mukesh to find out the truth. The lady constable comes there and asks Lakshmi to come out. Rishi asks Lakshmi to take care of herself. Lakshmi goes. Rishi looks at Lakshmi and thinks that Lakshmi just went now and I am already missing her. Virendra talks to Mayank. Ayush comes there. Virendra says the legal notice is here. Ayush says our regular clients have cancelled all their deals with us and their contract. Mayank tells him that the food department sent us notice. Ayush says due to Rishi's statement, everyone is cancelling their deal with us. Virendra says they will sort out everything. Mayank says sorry to say this. If Rishi haven't given this statement, then this wouldn't have happened. Virendra says whatever Rishi did is to save Lakshmi and Ayush says Rishi did right. Malishka comes to meet Rishi in prison and she thinks that why did Rishi not come to meet her till now? She thinks that did Lakshmi tell Rishi anything and she thinks that she will murder Lakshmi. Rishi comes there. Malishka hugs him and says I missed you so much. She asks why did you take the blame on yourself to save Lakshmi? She says we would have freed Lakshmi and you should have let Lakshmi be in jail instead of you. Rishi breaks his hug with Malishka and asks that why should Lakshmi stay here? Malishka says you are Rishi Obrey, and she asks if he is looking good in jail for whom. Rishi says for Mrs. Lakshmi Obrey. Malishka says it is a suicide. Rishi says it is not from my point of view. I cannot see Lakshmi tortured, and Malishka is shocked. Malishka asks Rishi that can you see me tortured? She says I am your Malishka, who loves you truly, and I saved you from the terrorists. I did not care for my life. I risked my life and I free your aunt when the terrorists held you captive. She says you thought Lakshmi great because she took you on her shoulders. Rishi says whatever Lakshmi did is true. Malishka interrupts and says I would have done this, or Ayush would have done it, and says Lakshmi did not do anything great. Malishka angrily tells Rishi that today, everyone and you are on Lakshmi's side. Rishi asks if Malishka came to badmouth about Lakshmi or to meet him. Malishka says, I came to meet my love, and she asks Rishi not to be sarcastic. She says she came to see with whom she can share her sorrows. Malishka says to Rishi that she would hire the best lawyer for him. Rishi says Dad and Ayush would undo that. Malishka asks Rishi to take Lakshmi's name also. She says, I want to do this for you, and she asks if I should give my life for you. She hit her head on the wall. Rishi tried to stop her, and he asks if she has gone mad. Malishka asks Rishi that why don't you understand? Rishi says this is a police station. Don't do any drama. Malishka says you took Lakshmi's blame on yourself, so I will take your blame on me. She says I will think about myself to be lucky if I save you. Rishi says it is not needed, and he tells Malishka that Lakshmi will save him. Malishka says how, and she asks him to tell her. Rishi says Lakshmi said that if they talk to Mukesh, then they will get some information. Rishi says to Malishka that Lakshmi has gone to meet Mukesh and says I will be out of jail soon. Malishka says bye. Rishi goes inside, and Malishka says that she cannot let this happen and she will never let Lakshmi win. Balvinda shows his hand to a palmist. The palmist tells Balvinda that if you love someone or something, then you will get the something, but your life is in danger. Balvinda says to the palmist that the danger that is after his life is behind jail. The palmist says that the danger is behind you. Malishka thinks that she has to save herself and then she will get Rishi. Balvinda sees Malishka speeding her car, and he asks the palmist if Balvinda is the trouble. Malishka drives fast, and Balvinda and the palmist run away. A goon comes to the prison and started beating Rishi, saying that his brother is in the hospital due to him. Rishi says, I don't know your brother, and he hits the goon back. Balvinda gets saved and Malishka's car hit another car. The palmist asks for his money, and Balvinda gives him the money and the palmist leaves. Malishka gets down from her car and she scolds the other car owner. She asks the lady to give her money for her car damage. The lady also argues with her. Balvinda thinks to save Malishka from the lady so that he can earn more money from Malishka because Malishka is his ATM. Okay guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I know I've been dropping only one episode these days. I'm so sorry about that. I will work on that very soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.